Welcome back, YouTube. All right, so we got a bit of a hurry up and get some information out segment here for my nerd report because people are messing this up for everybody. But the basic overall of this is stop before you ruin it for everybody else. But before you go, um, subscribe to the channel, hit thumbs up, and then also stay for the story. So, because what's going on in good old Texas, the Lone Star State, they got hit with a lot of bad weather of late. And one of the biggest problems about disaster zones, disaster areas in general, a lot of people flock towards it. One of the reasons why driving down the freeway is so bad, when people see an accident, they like to rubberneck. If you don't know what that terminology is, drive down the road and then actually watch yourself. You all of a sudden start looking back repeatedly. That's where the rubbernecking part comes from. So we are fascinated with disasters. I don't know why. As a human race, we like to see carnage. It's weird like that, but one of the biggest things about, especially now with technology, is you get a chance to kind of get to places where other people cannot. And drones are a good way of getting to places where other people can't. Getting a better bird's eye view, quote unquote, where other people can't. But there's times that you can, and there's times when you should not. And during these disasters that's going on in Texas, which my prayers go out to the people there because the loss of life could have been prevented. We have enough technology to be able to tell you when bad weather is coming. We haven't been able to utilize it to our fullest, and that's just another whole nother podcast to talk about. But right now, you have a lot of people heading towards very dangerous places, and they're crowding the space. So this is coming from Drone Life, their website, and this is not an old article. This is a new article, which means that when a publication or a group of people try to get information out to people, you know it's kind of bad because the small few can mess it up for the bunch. And one of the things that you're trying to make a good hobby. Like I do want to buy myself a drone. I think that they're wonderful technologies. I look at cellular technology. I want to get up close and personal to some of these towers. I'm not about to climb 200, 300 feet to go and look at some of these towers. Number one, I'm afraid of heights. Number two, none of these tower companies gonna let me go up there and scope out their equipment. So what's the best way to do it? Get yourself a drone. The problem is some people are going to mess it up for others, and especially for these disaster areas, you can end up causing legislation to come down with a heavier hand than normally would if it was just casual use. Like, there's good things that you could do with drones, and there's no changing that. I mean, from surveying flood areas quickly to locating missing people. Like right here in the article, it says using infrared cameras. The people are lost and not being found. They could be trapped under rubble, under debris, and finding people is the biggest thing that we need to be able to do. But the problem is when you have a whole bunch of novice in the place of people who do this for a living. They need to find people. You're crowding the airspace, and you end up becoming a hazard not only for the first responders that need to help people, but you also become a hazard because you have your drone flying in places where it shouldn't be at, which is why they deem a lot of the natural disaster areas a no-fly zone. This is more of a PSA than it is me talking about drones. I mean, I love the idea that we can finally, use technology to, betterment, but you could also use it for its detriment also. And this is one of those problems that when you have to have a organization that talks about drones to come out and put out their own PSA that tells you to what extent people are trying to get footage of disaster areas. And one of the main reasons is just so they can be the first person to post it on their own personal news site, saying, "Hey, look, I got this footage. Look what I got. Look what I got. Look what I got." And yes, we have this culture of trying to be first. You see it in the comments. Somebody's gonna say first in somebody's comment, but when first responders need airspace and coordination and different things like that, it becomes a very hard spot to work around when you got novice people flying drones around. Or I had this conversation with somebody about personal helicopters. You are not coordinating with local disaster relief. You are just in the way at that point. So yes, you could have your own personal helicopter, but guess what? Don't get in the way. Either you register yourself with the local people, do it the right way, get the call signs that you need, or get out of the way and help other people that are within, basic need to safety and whatnot outside of the disaster area. There's other things that you could do than trying to get, that new shot, that next shot for TikTok or that next shot for Instagram. You know, it's not that important because actual news organizations go through a rigorous, you know, please let us be on site because we need to report the news, paperwork just so they can be there. And if you're not willing to do that same type of paperwork, get out the way. It's very paramount that people need to be able to operate safely to help other people. I don't, and one of the reasons why I'm putting this video out and I'm hoping that people see it is that what ends up happening is, let's say that these first responders start complaining about drone usage in the area, they're going to be like, well, we need to knock out radio frequencies in a whole zone. Well, what's going to happen when they want to knock it out for non-use purposes? A lot of legislation can occur because these points like this, in disaster areas, are being ignored by an everyday novice who just want to get something for the gram. That's not something that I want to happen, and nobody else is going to want that to happen also. But it's the safety that is more paramount more than anything. But let me know if you're a drone user. I'm looking to want to be one. Hopefully one day soon I want to buy one and use it to, look at cell sites and see what type of equipment is being used and different other things like that. Live stream with it, but not to go into disaster areas and try to get first person shots of everything that's going on because I need to hurry up and get news faster than everybody else. But let me know what you think, or if you're a drone person, a drone user, let me put your comments below. Tell me what you use your drones for, because the recreational side of it needs to stay as flourished as it possibly can, but stay out of the no-fly zones. If you're a drone operator, you're supposed to know all the rules, and that's just what it is. But thank y'all for watching. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll hit you back with another one. Y'all have a good one.